thread is not a power you wield. The power of one. The power of two. They attack! The thread is not a power you wield.
Thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. We have had some extraordinary moments of cinema since Disney acquired Star Wars. Favourite heroes dying alone, Jake Skywalker drinking a walrus's titty milk, Leia doing a Mary Poppins through the vacuum of space, lightsabers becoming useless, Boba Fett becoming useless, Obi-Wan becoming useless. Many, many good times. But nothing would prepare me for the Star Wars lesbian witch coven howling at the moon.
Power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
Hand the franchise over to a lesbian feminist activist. They said, what's the worst that could happen?
The gift of life!
So this episode, we don't start in another freaking space village. No, we start just outside another freaking space village. In a forest where we're going to go back in time and see what the evil Jedi did to young May, Osha and her family. Well, we won't really find out the full details for another 4 episodes, where this episode will be repeated, but let's just jump in regardless. In true creative brilliance, the producers of this show found kids with the exact same acting range as Amanda Stenberg, who plays the older twins.
Oshi.
And that's 0 acting range. May and Osha are preparing to do the Ascension.
I don't want to do the Ascension.
Like a lot of this show, it's never explained what the Ascension is. It seems like some type of witch graduation
It's just a ceremony.
that May's all excited for, but Osha doesn't want to do. The girls have a fruity little nursery rhyme that would be unsettling to any parents of twins, where they think they are one.
I'm with you. Always one, born as two. I give you you, and you give me me. And ever. And ever.
The idea of them being the same person will come up later in the series, and yes, them being the one person is as stupid as it sounds.
How many times have I told you? It is not safe out here.
Mother Maul turns up to chastise them, and we find out Sol has been watching the girls. We find out later Sol is very interested in Osha. Very, very interested. So interested that I was expecting to catch a predator to turn up.
I feel a connection to Osha.
Daddy needs to get his rocks off.
We get to the Fortress Space Village, another dreary shithole that no kid watching this show would ever want to visit, and we find out there are no men in this village. So, a Leslye Headland oasis. It's a wild world we're living in, when creators' egos are so out of control that they set their hero's backstory in a society that doesn't include half the population, because those creators aren't into half the population. It's sort of the opposite of Star Trek, where Gene Roddenberry wanted to show a world where everyone was included and respected. But that's not the Leslye Headland way. In her story, men aren't even necessary, and heavy scissoring can produce children. It's a Leslye Headland dreamland. The girl's other mother turns up to show she's the weaker of the two parents and lets the little brats get away with whatever they want. She decides to reward their bratty behaviour by letting them have some spice creams.
Let them have some spice creams.
Mama!
Let's add spice to the list of words that the idiots making this show don't understand. Spice in the Star Wars universe has always been the name for drugs.
Anyone gets lost running spice through Mos Pelgo again will be lost forever.
It's been referred to many times, and people who run spice are looked down upon because they are seen as drug dealers.
Your friend's old job was running spice.
You were a spice runner? You were a stormtrooper?
Were you a spice runner?
Spice is the Star Wars version of heroin. So why in God's green land would the creators of this show, why if they have the slightest interest in Star Wars, would they call the kids' treats heroin creams? Because that's what the writing morons just did.
How many spice creams are you gonna eat tonight?
Just a perfect day.
Now I know the Disney simps would use this as an example of their favourite go-to and call it a nitpick, but at the very least, writers working with such huge budgets on loved IPs should be able to at least get the language correct.
Want to buy some death sticks?
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
We then get a retelling of the Force, and apparently it is an energy that binds us together.
Its energy surrounds us and binds us.
It's a thread that can be pulled.
Thread woven through all of existence.
We're also told that some losers call it the Force, idiots, and they claim to use it.
Some call it a force and claim to use it.
We are then told that the thread is not a power you wield.
But we know the thread is not a power you wield.
The thread also ties you to your destiny, but if you pull the thread, it changes everything, and so the destiny you were tied to is now a different destiny, so you weren't actually tied to anything.
It ties you to your destiny. Pull the thread, change everything.
Mother Dreadlocks then goes on to teach the girls how to wield the thread as a weapon, even though she just said that the thread is not a power you wield.
The thread is not a power you wield.
The power of one.
The script has so many contradictions and a lack of basic logic that I'm seriously starting to think that Lucasfilm is using AI to assist the low-talented writers. Every bloody line is contradicted by either the very next line or by the character's very next action. It's unbelievably bad, and the fact that it gets past everyone at Lucasfilm and onto the screen is disgraceful. It's also weird that the girls are about to graduate that night into full-blown witches, but they're getting the Witches for Beginners course.
All living things are connected by the same thread. Some call it a force.
Not a lesson for kids who have grown up with witchcraft and are about to graduate that night.
Girls.
Let go of me!
The twin girls are unbelievably annoying through this whole lesson, and Mother Dreadlocks says absolutely nothing. A good father could have really helped in this situation. Dads are good at preventing fatherless behaviour.
Noah! Larry, what the hell are you doing?
Larry!
Larry, you can't just...
More wielding of the power that's a power that can't be wielded. We learn that the witches believe in the power of one, the power of two, and the power of many, which, like everything else in this scene, is shown to mean absolutely nothing. The power of one instantly beats the power of two.
Power of two.
And later in the series, we see the power of many fail miserably against the power of one. So good luck understanding what their little chant means.
The power of many.
Because obviously the writers don't even understand it. But on a happy note, the little power of one, power of two, power of many leads to the death of every single one of these stupid witches.
Block me.
With the subtlety of a hammer to the head, we're shown that Osha is weaker than May by having her cower behind May, like something straight out of a British Christmas pantomime.
Excellent, May.
Osha, I expect more from you.
They could have shown that Osha was at least trying to use the thread in this scene. I mean, she's graduating from Witch College in a few hours, but the writers know how simple their fans are, so the pantomime acting it is.
Oh, you're right!
And for the Australian fans, it was nice to see that Mother Dreadlocks is doing the industry super funds ad gesture. We must have a shitload of witches in Australia because we have had those annoying ads on our TVs for years.
I compared my retirement.
And yes, you might be surprised, but we do have TV in Australia. Osha starts going on about not wanting to be a witch, which is odd, but I'll come back to that later.
I don't know if I want to be a witch.
First, we have to allow ourselves the joy of experiencing the most bizarre High School Musical scene you will ever dream of witnessing in a Star Wars show. When George Lucas came up with his little hero's journey story set in the stars all those years ago, howling lesbian witches doing interpretive dance to a moon god probably wasn't part of the plan.
That ain't no woman. It's a man.
I don't know why I used that clip.
Tonight we enact a ceremony we have not performed since our exile.
Oh my god, this speech seems to be really edging those witches. Oh, girls. What the hell? One of the witches is going off her nut. This hilarious ceremony is interrupted by the Jedi.
The Jedi!
They've sliced the platform.
The Jedi being portrayed as an ungoverned group who can turn up to any planet and proceed to break into private property to question foreigners on their own land about their own religious beliefs is all very... The Jedi starts spelling Republic rules, and Mother Dreadlocks explains that the Witch's planet is not part of the Republic.
We are concerned that you are training children. The Republic law states...
Rendok is not a part of the Republic.
So piss off, Jedi, with your child abducting ideas. The witches are so afraid of the Jedi that they even try and hide their children. But Team Jedi are there for the kiddies, so they completely ignore the parents and call for the kids to come out against their parents' wishes.
Come out.
The Jedi in this show feel more like the SS looking for new recruits for the Hitler Youth than they do George Lucas's caring keepers of the peace. Sol then starts trying to entice Osha to run away with him by letting her hold his weapon, like some weirdo offering a child the chance to hold a puppy at the playground. In what world is letting a child hold a dangerous weapon a sign of trust? We then get more of the classic contradictory writing where Trinity states that they have the right to test the children, with the parents' permission, of course.
Mother Anastasia, you cannot deny that Jedi have the right to test potential Padawans. With your permission, of course.
How does that exactly work? Because that's not alright if you have to ask the parents' permission. Mother Dreadlocks then puts Padawan Torben into a black-eyed trance as a negotiation tactic.
If you want your Padawan returned to his right mind, I suggest you all leave.
With that sort of power, I don't know why she's listening to the Jedi at all. But then she just agrees to let Osha do the Jedi test. Sol demands both girls do the test, and the mother agrees. Why she agrees is anyone's guess. Another thing we have to guess is why do the witches cancel the whole ceremony they were performing just because there was a 5-minute interruption?
Bed, now.
Every one of them is dressed and ready to go. They should be just going straight back up the stairs and baptising Osha into the coven of witches. But no, they don't do that, which is lucky for the story because Osha is going to want to change her religion in about 5 minutes.
I told him I wanted to be a Jedi because I do.
You don't mean that.
Now a quick break to share some knowledge. The Olympics are on, so that's 2 weeks of people living out their dreams. Now you could spend your time watching other people achieve their goals, or you could spend today working on your goals. Get you all your great ideas out to the world with an amazing website from Squarespace. When getting in front of the world, first impressions are super important, and with the Squarespace website, you can have a killer first impression. With a professionally designed website that you can easily manage and edit yourself, it won't cost you a fortune, and best of all, your website can be up and running within hours. Just go and sign up for a free trial, choose from Squarespace's large selection of professionally designed templates, then make it your own with the ease of drag and drop designing using their amazing custom tool, Fluid Engine. Add photo galleries, portfolios, and amazing looking video backgrounds. If you have a product to sell, you can easily set up a store so you can sell directly to your customers. And if digital content is your thing, Squarespace websites now have a members area where you can monetize your content right on your own website. So no greedy middleman taking a chunk of your profits. Squarespace also provides secure payments and client invoicing, so you can run your whole business straight from your website. And if you have a great idea for a course, Squarespace lets you set up online courses with multimedia lessons, progress tracking, and flexible pricing. Once your courses are all set up, you'll be earning money 24/7. And nothing beats making cash while you're asleep. Head over to squarespace.com/robothead and try Squarespace today for free. And then when you are ready to take off, use the code ROBOTHEAD and you will get 10% off your first purchase. Check out the link below. Go to Squarespace today and start making those dreams a reality. Now, a lot of people have been saying that the Jedi didn't do anything wrong in this series. I disagree. I think they've been wrong from the get-go. If you come into this story without any prior knowledge of who the Jedi are, then the only way to see the Jedi is as the aggressor who take children away from their families to join their cult, under the threat of being wiped out.
I did not bring the girls into this world so we could lose them to a bunch of deranged monks.
Mother Maul's reaction to the situation is the only correct one for anyone that's ever had children, and yet she is portrayed as the bad parent, and Osha's attraction to the Jedi makes no sense whatsoever.
I don't know if I want to be a witch.
Osha has lived her whole life with her family secluded from the outside world. She has grown up with everyone around her having the same beliefs. Most children of her age believe and follow their parents' beliefs, because children at that age have no outside reference to question what their parents have taught them. Osha has no prior knowledge of the Jedi. The show tells us Osha may have been hidden away from the outside world, yet Osha instantly wants to leave with them. This whole story is written from the fan's point of view, not the character's point of view. A fan who has watched Luke training Grogu, collects Funko Pops, and knows the Jedi are meant to be the good guys. Osha should know anything about the Jedi unless she's been tuning into the same show that Lumpy was watching in the holiday special, the weird meta show about Lumpy's father and his friends. Maybe that's where Osha learned to love the Jedi. A child Osha's age should be horrified at the idea of being taken away from their family by complete strangers, especially when one of the strangers looks like they could eat her. But modern Hollywood loves pushing the idea of children turning their backs on their parents to trust complete strangers. They want children to listen to the people that tell them that every stupid idea they've ever had is correct.
Osha is a child.
She is old enough to know what she wants.
More inane conversations that contradict what we already know.
We must let them test the girls.
No.
We don't have a choice.
They have no choice. Trinity said they need the parents' permission. Which is it? But now the kids do have to take the Jedi test, so the genius plan is that the kids fail.
This test has two outcomes. A pass or a fail.
Yes, you could do that, or the witches could just refuse, because what the hell are the Jedi going to do? Mother Maul indicates that killing all the Jedi would be easy.
We make our move tonight, while the moons are high.
Mother Coral.
There are only 4 Jedi. Who would miss them?
Which is when we're then told that if that happens, the other Jedi would come back and wipe them all out.
One drop of Jedi blood, and the Republic would destroy us.
So yes, the Jedi are the bad guys.
The Jedi are bad.
The Jedi are good.
May has been the voice of reason this whole episode. Why does Osha think the Jedi are good? This is the sort of kid that would hop into a van in the hope of getting some free candy. The type of kid a parent should worry about and look out for. But not here.
Come, my loves.
This mum's going to drive the kids to the playground and put them in the van that has the free candy sign. Oh, look how excited she is. Like a Polish kid seeing the Hindenburg. Man, our Wookiee friend here is doing his best to start a fire in that dry grass.
Do all Jedis get one of those?
After much training. Did someone tell you to fail this test?
Yeah, my mother, who doesn't want you weirdos taking me away.
Your family doesn't want to be separated from you.
God, is there one writer on this show that has children? Because the grooming ways of this show make me sick. The constant message of trust the strange adult ahead of your own parents.
I told him I wanted to be a Jedi because I do.
So the writers understand that their own character shouldn't even know what it means to be a Jedi. This writing is solely for the soft-brained fans who collect Funko Pops and dream of Soul coming to take them away from their parents. The parents who don't understand why their 23-year-old son is collecting girls' toys.
If my boys wanted to play in anybody's dollhouse, I'd take him to a psychiatrist.
Don't want to be a witch. What's wrong with you?
More fatherless behaviour.
You get to make a choice, Osha.
In our world, we don't let children pick their own school, but Lucasfilm, they want to teach children that they should make life choices at a very young age.
I'll never see you again.
You won't.
Now wait, I know exactly what the Disney simps are going to say, because I've seen it said multiple times on Twitter. What about Anakin? He was a child when Qui-Gon took him away from his mother. But listen, Anakin was a slave. His mother wanted him to have freedom from slavery. She knew that the Jedi were good. Anakin himself already knew about the Jedi because he wasn't headed away from the world.
You're a Jedi Knight, aren't you?
The Jedi didn't force their beliefs onto Anakin. Anakin's mother saw it as a way out for him. In other words, Anakin's circumstances were completely different, you idiots. We then get a completely out-of-place personality flip where May, who has been quite caring up to this point, says that she will stop her sister from leaving by killing her.
I'll kill you.
Yes. Yes, that's right, killing her. Who wrote this bizarre script? I agree, killing Osha would stop her from leaving, but the outcome would not be better than her leaving because she'd be dead.
I'll kill you.
What do the writers have May trying to achieve? But don't worry, the personality flips have only just begun. They happen several times throughout the series, and every time to a higher degree. May starts her plan of trying to kill her sister by setting her book on fire. Strangely, more like a prison than a home, the doors to the bedrooms in the witch's castle lock from the outside. In what scenario other than a prison do you want your doors lockable from the outside? You can only be locked in. You can't lock people out. How does privacy work in this place? May's fire in a place made of concrete and stone goes up like a house made of straw. We knew the creators of this show didn't understand fire when they put a campfire out in space, but this time they have stone and concrete burned like timber. Luckily, the locked room has a human-sized access tunnel that again seems to be locked from the outside. This place really is like a prison. Osha makes her way into the tunnel, which is lucky because the fire's really taken off. Within minutes, not only is the whole place on fire, it has also started exploding for reasons that are never explained. This fortress is the most fragile construction I've ever seen. The lesbian witch cult should have got some contractors in to make sure the building was up to code. The builders could have helped them with little mistakes they made, like putting the locks on the outside of doors and building with highly flammable rocks. The girls meet up again in an on-the-nose split walkway scene, where we find out Mother's dead.
Mama's dead.
Which one isn't stated, but we know the girls have a favourite, and it's not the one that carried them, it's the one that looks just like them. Soul saves only one of the children, Osha, by running and physically grabbing her instead of using the Force. This isn't such a big deal until we get the extended cut of the scene later in the series, where they clearly show that Soul could have saved both girls. You can look forward to that. But of course, don't worry about May. With the way this bizarre series is cut, we know full well that she survives. Just use the Force, Soul.
Let's keep going.
We see all the witches are dead. That power of the one, the two, and the many bullshit didn't seem to work. And the whole place is burning down. Worst construction ever. Osha wakes up in the ship that's heading straight back to Coruscant. Why? Why are they heading straight back?
They're on our way to Coruscant.
Why are the Jedi kidnapping this child? And what is their rush to leave the planet? We saw at their camp that they had crap all over the place. When did they pack all that up? Maybe they could have waited till morning to check if there were any other survivors before leaving. You know, like Osha's sister. But no, script says no.
Computer says no.
They have to get away from this planet as quickly as possible, so this weak as piss separate the twins' story can work. Even Osha pleads to go back, but weirdo child-stealing Soul says no.
You have to go back. We have to go back.
No, we can't.
We must.
There is nothing back there.
Ah, yes, Osha's going to feel so much safer on Coruscant with the people that turned up and destroyed her home and everyone she knew. That makes total sense for her character. And what do you know? There was a survivor. May. The Jedi left a small child alone on a planet to fend for herself because the script needed him to leave as soon as possible for the script to work. May even went to the girl's favourite meeting spot, so she would have been really easy to find, if only the Jedi had bothered looking.
Osha.
Man, I knew Lucasfilm Disney always hated the Jedi, but after this show, I hate the Jedi.
What happened?
They started a fire.
Join me next episode where we meet Basil, some big bugs, and we find out this guy's alive a century before he should be. And he's a complete moron. But don't worry, they brought him back for a very special reason. Not. And of course, we get more.
Don't tell me you'll miss me.